Hey besties, we're back with another makeup tutorial and we're about to be getting straight into it with the Halloween Glam. If you have not already subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss any of my videos. I post weekly, and right now I'm just blending out my base for my shadow, which is the P. Louise base in the shade number 1. And going in with the orange shadow from P. Louise Cosmetics. We're using a Morphe brush to go ahead and just blend that out. And I really didn't know what direction I wanted to go into, guys. So I just really was like, okay, let me start to just move my hands, move my muscles, and see what I come up with. And at this point, besties, you can tell I'm feeling it. I'm like, okay, I'm starting to feel something. We're starting to feel something. So as you can see, I'm just building up that orange shadow from the P. Louise palette, and then I'm going to be doing the same exact technique that I just did on this eye, on the right eye, because we want it to be the exact same, and we just want a perfect pigment. And the best way to get that is to build up to it. I feel like going in with a whole bunch of product just does not do it for me personally. Some people probably does, depending on the brand, but not for me. I'm clearly satisfied with my base, and now we're going back in with that orange on my right eye. And it's truly hilarious because, I mean, the glam came out super nice, but when I tell y'all I do not know what I be doing sometimes, I don't be knowing what I be doing, because it's easy to look at a photo of inspiration and be like, oh, I'm gonna recreate this, do different colors or whatever the case may be. But when you are genuinely making something from scratch, it's just like, what am I doing? What are we doing? What am I doing? So now I'm going in with a Wet n Wild black eyeliner. And yes, the products I'm using on myself are products I do not use on my clients. That's disgusting. Ew. But anywho, I'm just using some black shadow to go over that liner that I did. So I kind of essentially just drew out the shape of what I wanted it to be. And now I'm taking a black shadow from a Too Faced palette to go ahead and just buff out that line and really give it like a 3D effect. And notice I'm using a super small brush to do this because I want to be concise and clear about where the product's going. If you really want to be careful and not have the product getting everywhere, use a brush that's suited for the exact area you're doing. If the brush is too big for that area, go for something smaller that's the same type of style of brush. And now you just see me building up both eyes, just going in with the black and not being afraid to go back if I feel like something is too faded or too dull. Really taking my time. And so now I'm just wrapping it up and finishing off strong. And in a minute, you're going to see me step back and admire my work. And I'm doing a little dance, do my little dancey dance. I don't know why I made that face, but yeah. So we just moving forward. And now at this point, I'm super excited about doing this shadow look because it's just coming out exactly how I wanted it to. And I've definitely realized too that I'm not going to be using this mirror next time because it literally blocked the camera. I mean, I should have looked up and referenced, and I didn't. However, it really blocked a lot of my work. I am thankful that you guys got to see me doing the left-hand side of my face, which is on our right. As a viewer, you know, that was pretty cool, but I'm very, very, very upset about the fact that I covered a lot of it. However, I still wanted to edit this video fully and allow you guys to just get a chance to see. So yes, lesson learned moving forward, not using this mirror, but I still hope you guys get to enjoy this look. And I'm just still, once again, wrapping up me doing the details on the curves of the shadow, making sure the lines are clean, the black is as deep as I would like for it to be, and everything is exactly how I want it to be blended. And as soon as I'm done with this, we're going to move forward with applying a white P. Louise base that's going to help make everything else stand out. So stay tuned. Now we're moving straight into putting on some P. Louise base. This is the white color base, and it's perfect for just really defining any cut creases or designs that you have on your eye. And now whenever I finish applying this white base, I'm going to go ahead and use a white shadow to set the top of the white base so that way it's flawless. There's no errors on it. It's set in to where it's not going to crease, and it just really gives it an airbrush look. And besties, I really wanted to just touch back on the fact of using a smaller brush. Like, I don't know if you guys realize how tiny this brush is. It's so tiny, and it's literally perfect because it allows you to work so closely in small areas without going over lines that you've created. Like right now, I'm still blending out that white base, but just look at how flawless it is. I didn't go over any of the lines. And even if I do, it's so subtle that you wouldn't notice it. And I can go back in and touch it up with the black because black obviously eliminates white instantly. So no brainer, just use a smaller brush. Be very, very vigilant with how you're moving it. Turn it sideways if need be and take your time. If you see what I'm doing, I'm turning the brush every which angle I need to. And I'm not just going with how I placed it the first time. If I need to readjust myself, I'm doing exactly that. And we're just going back in with that white eyeshadow And again, I'm going to link every product I used in this video description box, so you don't have to worry about asking me what I used or how I achieved it. I'm 100% going to link everything below. And now we're just going into the right eye with that white base, doing the same thing. And it's so funny because I'm using such minimal amounts of product of the white base that it almost looked as if I weren't even using the base. And now we're using that white shadow. See, now you can see the difference. Before it looked kind of white, but here you can see the pigment standing out. You can see the black standing out. And child, I was so in love with it, I had to do a little dance again. And of course, we have to reinforce everything we did with the black shadow. So that's just me going back in with that Wet n Wild liner and making sure that I'm getting everything flawless and precise and just really defined. And now my lighting is going in and out, but I don't care about that. I'll learn and figure that part out. But until then, you're still going to get these glams on demand. And right now we're going in with our Nars Radiant Longwear Foundation. I am using the shade Syracuse on myself. Again, it'll be linked below, so you don't have to worry. And yeah, look at me putting a few dots, not too much because I don't prefer a whole bunch, but I do prefer a decent amount. And now I didn't show it on camera, but of course I went ahead and primed and moisturized my face. Obviously I cleaned my face before I got to my studio to even do this glam and record it. But you always want to use a good moisturizer and primer. I went in with the Pond's moisturizer, and then I just went right behind that with an e.l.f. hydrating primer, and my face was ready for makeup. Now going in with a brush that I believe I got from Dollar General actually. I'm using that to just blend out and buff out that foundation. You see me doing some pat motions and also doing some swipes, just really working that into my skin. I know it looks fairly light, but we were going for more of like a dramatic look. I'm doing a vampire for this glam in particular, so I just want it to be a little bit more brightened, and then we're going to do a nice little contour. Now when you're blending your face, whether you use a sponge or a regular brush, make sure you blend your face. Don't be lazy. As you can see in the video, I'm really working that product into my skin. Number one, you don't want to waste it. And number two, you don't want it to just sit there. You want it to blend in. You want it to warm up to your skin. You want to be able to see how it oxidizes. So blending will help you with all of that stuff with foundation. Now moving forward, again, I'm a cheapskate when it comes to myself and my own makeup in my studio. Now I have expensive stuff at home, but when I'm in my studio, I use very, very cheap products that I just buy whenever I'm out restocking on inventory for my clients. That way I'm not using client inventory on myself for tutorials, because that would really mess up my pockets a lot. So we ain't doing that. I went in with the LA Girl concealer, and I'll be sure to link that one in the description box as mentioned before. And as you can tell, I didn't use a super dark shade for contour. I don't prefer to do that with myself. I like to layer my colors in regards to my face, because I could either wash myself out, make myself look too gray or too warm. I have a very olive tone, but then it's also a yellow undertone. It's not really cool. But then when I put on yellow products, it's too warm. So I have to be extremely careful. So what I'm just going to continue to do is blending out the product that I've already placed down. And then I'm going to go ahead and top that off with a contour powder to really make sure that we got those colors blended well and that I got the right shade that I'm looking for. I know a lot of people say that you can just pick a contour shade and do all that. But again, not my preference. I just don't like it. I already have a strong jawline. So babe, we're not about to have me out here looking like the tinsel man. We're just not. I'm not giving. She's really buff. None of them. So now I'm going in with my same foundation brush and I'm blending out the contour on my nose. I don't want it to be too harsh, so I'm just making sure to use a brush that already has some product on it that is lighter than that to really help just diffuse out that color. Now, granted, I could have used an even lighter color for my nose, but nope, I wanted a nice chisel, so I did it that way. And now you're just seeing me going in and blending out that contour on my cheek. And child, it almost scared me, but I know how to move product and how to utilize it, so we're good. We're still in good standing. But man, that Fenty foundation will get the job done. I know some of y'all are going to comment and say, well, why'd you put the first one if you're putting this one down? Because again, guys, that one that I just put down was so warm. If I would have put it by itself, it would have just been red. That initial contour cream concealer I used from LA Girls definitely neutralized it out. Now I'm just going in with my Tarte concealer just to brighten and to really make sure that I'm able to bring out my features on my face aside from the eyeshadow, like my T-zone, which are my under eye, my chin, the bridge of my nose, all of those areas where the light is really going to hit at. And I just wanted to give a baby soft, glowy look, even though this is a vampire glam. Now, of course, being that this concealer is a very bright shade, it looks like I'm putting on a lot of product. I promise you, I'm not. I literally wipe the wand for the concealer off on the top of the tube to get any excess product off, or I'll even like swirl it on the top of my hand to really make sure that I'm getting the excess off. I do love a full glam, but you really don't need a whole bunch of product to do that. You just need the right colors to create the illusion of what you're trying to get people to see. So yes, it looks like I'm using a lot of concealer, but once again, I'm not. And you'll see that when I blend it out. It's just a super bright color. And I love it. And honestly, too, besties, if you want to use a lot of product, that's your prerogative, baby. There's no rules to makeup aside from make it look good. Nobody wants to be casket ready. Nobody wants to look a hot mess. And there's also no rules in makeup. So you can't really mess up so long as you love what you're doing. If you love what you're doing, there is no wrongdoing. There are no rules in makeup, truly. Some people might disagree, but there's no king and queen of makeup, period. Everybody does makeup differently. We all bring something different to the table. So you just got to do what works for you, babe. I'm using my e.l.f. concealer blending brush. I'm blending out that Tarte concealer with Plaid. Everything will be linked below in the description box. And I'm making sure to really take my time and just buff that out. And I'm turning my head different angles because I want to make sure that, baby, once again, that product is being fully blended. You don't want to rush the process of blending something out because it messes up the very next step, quite literally. So take your time. So right here, I'm just holding up the pomade because I went back into my brows in the beginning to really give them that dramatic look, if you can tell. Literally rewind it like 10 seconds and you will see the difference in my brows from the previous clip of me blending my concealer to right now. Sometimes when you are doing a face, like the integrity of certain features or aspects of the glam that you had defined can be taken away when you're blending something else out. So you might have to go back in. And so that's exactly what I did. Just like my cat eye liner in my inner corner, I had to go back in with the Wet n Wild liner because of course it faded after blending, and that's totally fine. And it's even crazier because the liner on my eyes looked super dark until I started filling it back in with the liquid eyeliner, and I was like, oh wow, black can be truly, truly black. Fun fact, there's a guy in the world who literally made the blackest black ever. He's an artist. And you guys, he created it, patented, but then purchased literally all of it so nobody else in the world could have it or use it, and created a copyright. So he literally created the blackest black in the world, which would make so many artists happy, and then he kept it. That is so lame and so petty. He must be an Aquarius like me. No, I'm just joking, besties. But guys, isn't that such a crazy story? Like, imagine you making a color, everybody's anticipating it, and then you're just like, nope, all for me. That is sickening. And of course, I'm extra AF, so I went back in and added a little bit more of that Tarte concealer because we really want that bright under eye look. And I'm just really buffing that out like the first time. And you're going to see me blend in between my contour and that concealer with a clean buffing brush to make sure that it evenly blends. You don't want nothing muddy. So that right there just helped me to seamlessly add those lines together between the two shades. Sorry, I didn't cut myself off. So yeah, as you can see, doing the same exact thing on my right hand side of my face. And again, my biggest tip is blend, blend, blend. Do not be scared to get up in there. Blending is literally your lifesaver in makeup. That's it. Look at me all happy and proud. Now I'm going in with my Fenty Beauty Butter setting powder, and I love it. It is so good. Can't believe it's not butter. No, I really played too much, but back on track. So we're sitting there buffing out this setting powder under my eye, really just making sure we're getting that all up in there, and we're covering every ounce of concealer that we apply. We really want to set it so it lasts long, even though we're wiping this off when I'm done. Hand modeling brought to you by Get Your Fleek On. Okay, besties, all jokes aside, we're sitting here, we're buffing out the setting powder, waiting for the glam to be done. I didn't use too much. It's in my hair. Somebody send help. And now, because I did the most with the freaking setting powder, I have to use my foundation brush to blend that out. And now going in with the black Radiance concealer powder, I'm just going ahead and adding in that contour shade to my jawline and all the areas that I bronzed with the liquid concealer and liquid foundations that I mix. As I couldn't be happier with my choice because this black Radiance contour shade is so good, but it has so much warmth, and I do not have that much of a warm undertone. So it just appears very red whenever I put it on by itself. So yeah, we ain't going for that. And now I'm going back in with that clean brush, and I'm just blending in between those lines of product and making sure everything looks seamless like skin. And you can use a smaller brush to contour your nose. Again, I feel pretty confident with using any of the brushes for any step, to be honest. I can use this for foundation or for contour. Shoot, I probably could use it for a cut crease, so I don't really care. I'm using it for my nose. And it's actually funny because this is SZA's favorite way to contour her nose. And we obviously don't have the same nose shape, but I really love just the little button it gives at the top. So I do this contour style for my nose personally all the time. And I am clearly satisfied with my contour results. So we're moving forward with the finishing powder. You don't have to use finishing powder on your face, but I personally love using finishing powder. It's not good for everybody, but it's good for me. So yeah, we went in with a shade number 20. And then we went right into that Okalan blush palette and put in two different shades that I'll have linked below on my cheeks. I really wanted a more blushy look because I did a paler face base. Remember in the beginning when I said I was making myself a little bit paler? Yes. That's because I wanted the blush to show more. And no, you don't have to do it that way. No, you still can have blush show with just your regular colors. But for the effects of the glampire look, the glam vampire look, we doing it that way. And now I'm just taking this brown lip pencil to line the very, very outside of my lip line. Want to just give it a nice full look before I go ahead and finish it off with my little Vampira lip combo I'll be doing today. I'll be using a brown and black lip pencil that'll be linked below in the description box, so you do not have to worry about where to find them. And they're fully affordable. These things are like, I think $2 or even $1. Like, they're so cheap, guys, but they're so good. I'm telling you, you got to stay hip to cheap shit. That's it. And I'm just making sure I'm just going over the lip line so that way it's even on both sides, kind of smudging or smacking my lips together to make sure that it's fully transferred on both sides of the lips, on the top and the bottom lip. As you can see, I even leaned up because I'm like, I need to make sure that this is even. I do not want to embarrass myself, child. This is my first creative eyeshadow YouTube video I'll be posting, and this is myself on here, so I really can't embarrass myself today. So now I'm going with a flat back Q-tip, if that makes sense. Like, they have round ones, but they also have the flat back ones. I genuinely love using this. I know a lot of people are going to say, you need to use a lip wand. You need to use a brush. Why don't you just use your finger? I'm not doing none of that stuff. Don't ask me to. I use the flat cotton pad because it blends so smoothly and it doesn't even pick up the product. And now I'm going in with my black pencil because I'm going to create my Vampira lip that I wanted to do. I saw JT's makeup artist do a lip similar to this. Or she might have even been the creator of it, but just big shout outs to her because we love a black girl in the alternative community. I love alt music. I really love every music genre, but I was super excited when I saw that because a lot of black girls don't always show that they love anything in the alternative community. So it was like, yes, my time to shine. Let me go ahead and recreate this lip then. And right now it's very much so giving Mufasa. It's very much so giving his evil brother Scar. It's giving something out of Zubumafu, but stick with me, besties. Just stick with me. Trust the process and watch what happens. So now that I'm satisfied with my lip, I'm going to go ahead and apply some lipstick after I blend out this lip line a little bit. As you can see on the cotton pad, it does have some product on it now that I've added way more. But whenever you're blending out these lips, you can see it's not that easy. Like, the cotton swab doesn't really pick up too much of anything of the product. So that's why I like them a lot. And I know you're probably thinking right now in this moment, why would she do this? Why would she not do this step first? Again, it looks super bright, but I know what I'm doing. I blended it out, reinforced that line, and it looks so good. Had I done this first, I feel like the lip would have been more focused on that whole nudie space, but that nudie space is more controlled and where it's at. And just look at it. I'm feeling myself. Y'all see what it's giving? I should have unmuted the sound, but I'm pretty much just popping my stuff with a capital P because I know I did it and could do it. And yeah, so now we're just going in with my Wet n Wild mascara, and I'm just making sure to put not too much but a generous amount. And I'm always really finicky about this part because I have bags, I'm talking bag lady bags on my under eye. Naturally, I've always had bags my whole life, and as I'm getting older and working more and creating content like this, child, my bags are bigger. So yeah, my lashes are long on my under eye, and they oftentimes rub up against the bags under my eye. And so you'll see me doing a little bit of damage control in a second because right here, as I'm filling it in, it literally transfers down. I was so upset, besties, but of course I went back in with my Tarte concealer, the slightest amount, and I just kind of cleaned that back up, and then I hurried up and set it. And now, besties, I'm just getting up super close with this glam. I really wanted you guys to see the details of everything. I know when we first started, it probably looked like she about to do another 2010 glam, but nah. No, ma'am. This is the finished result. I did end up doing like a glam vampire type of look because I went to do a vampire glam for Halloween, but I just wanted to create something also creative that I can post on YouTube. So I don't have the vampire teeth in, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification little bell button so you can keep up with the fact that I post every week.
I really thought you changed my mind, my mind, my mind.
Bye, besties.